rest in peace to Shock G.
Hmm.
Um, how did you guys meet and ultimately become the legendary group Digital Underground that we all know and love? How did those initial beginnings happen with you guys?
We met in the Bay Area. Shock is from Tampa, Florida, by way of New York. So he didn't grow up in the Bay like I did. Me and Fuse. So me and Fuse, we were a group, and another guy named Mac Moan called Raw Fusion. Well, we were
Mhm.
MGM at the time. I'm not sure if we had changed our name, but anyway, we were shopping our demo and doing talent shows and trying to get on. At the same time, there was this group, Digital Underground, that had a single Underwater Rhymes out. This is like 1988, and we were on the same show circuit. They had a record out that they were promoting, and we were doing these shows trying to get a record out. But because we were from the Bay Area, we sort of had a built-in following, right? And DJ Fuse was at the time probably one of the hottest DJs in the Bay Area at the time, if not the, right? And Digital Underground needed a DJ. So a meeting was set up so that they could try to convince Fuse to be their DJ. But, Fuse and I, we rocked like that. So we were, you know, he was loyal to me. We were loyal to each other. So he's like, look, I rock with y'all, but we're a group. If you mess with me, you got to mess with him. And that's kind of like how I got in. Because at the time, me and Shaq had conversations, but he wasn't very fond of West Coast rappers at the time. Just the way we talked and all. He thought we all sounded the same. So it wasn't like when he heard me, he didn't think I was an okay rapper because he said if he thought I was whack, he wouldn't agree to it. Um, but I had to get in there and do my thing, and finally be accepted. That's just how it was.
So, how did you change Shock's mind about West Coast rappers? Because I'd never heard that before. That he initially didn't like West Coast hip hop or West Coast rap. So,
He
what
just
was that?
didn't like he just wasn't fond of, because like I say, he's from the East Coast. So he's just used to
Hmm.
that New York slang, that New York talk. And then him being in Tampa, I'm pretty sure he growing up in Tampa, he probably pushed that New York line growing up to try to separate himself. When your parents is from somewhere, you kind of, you're like, yeah, I'm from
Yeah,
over here. So he
right.
finally got out to California, and all he heard was Too Short and your NWAs and whatnot. So super. He just wasn't very fond of that. And
Okay.
later when we talked, he's like, it wasn't like he didn't hate it, and he didn't hate the production style, because think about it, on the West Coast we liked a lot of funk, Parliament, funkadelic, and funky bass lines, and that's what Shock was all about. So we he fit in very well, even with Underwater Rhymes, which was the first single, used the bass line to Herbie Hancock, Chameleon, doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
doom, 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 doom. He used that, and then obviously you had, Underwater Boogie.
Hmm.
Yeah. So he wasn't like, it wasn't a disdain for it. He just said he wasn't checking for it like that.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And
So,
you know, and I don't know what was the point where it was just like, oh, okay, I get it. It's kind of just like over time, you just, when you work with somebody, you become close. When you basically living with somebody, and you guys have the same goals and dreams and aspirations, right? So we're a group now. So it's all for one, one for all. And I think the closeness came from that. And then as far as loving each other's style of hip hop, that probably came came along as it went. Because if I wanted to be totally honest, I wasn't like a super fan of his rapping either. I liked his production, and we would talk about it. So I'm not bitter.